It's Josh Johnson in 3D!
Ooh, I'm in 3D. Good popcorn.
Everybody's so mad at Timothée Chalamet. This is, wow. This is very mad. Okay, in case you didn't see it, woof. Okay, so in case you didn't see it, he was talking to Matthew McConaughey, right? And they were surrounded. It was like a CNN variety thing, and they were all together in this room where a bunch of, I guess, like aspiring actors were surrounding them. The setup felt awkward, but basically Timothée Chalamet said, at some point, he was talking about film, and he was like, I don't want to be working in ballet or opera or one of these things where they're like, please keep this thing alive even though nobody cares about it anymore, right? And I didn't know so many people did ballet and opera because the way that they came for his life, his head, everything, wow. So I thought it would be fun to come to the Wheeler Opera House. and talk about it. Because this is the thing. Look, this is the thing. Okay, so people were very, very upset. It's so big. It feels crazy that it's that big. We're at war. It's crazy that it's got this big. I thought it would blow over in like a day. You know, and no, people still out here making videos. People still out here talking about it. Even me. It got me too. Even the Met replied. The Met, you know, okay. I understand being upset at the idea, even the sentiment that like your art, the thing that you pour all of yourself into is dying, right? I understand how it feels dismissive and offensive and everything. I'm not coming at anybody who had a response. I'm just saying like the Met replied with a video. I understand he was being disrespectful. He was being disrespectful to two art forms that are like actually the cornerstone of where a lot of creativity has come from, right? I understand that. I do get that. The Met, okay, this would be like, okay, because I've you know, been out with friends or whatever, and someone will say something about how they don't care at all about basketball. They don't care. I don't know what the rules are. They get it in the hoop, I guess. I don't care, right? Barclays Center doesn't reply to that person to be like, actually, a lot of people like it. Yeah, like. But I understand why the Met did it, because here's the thing. If you are in any creative field right now that in any way is struggling, you know, it's usually money that we count as the struggle. More often than not, it's like this thing isn't making money, so it must be struggling. And I think that sometimes we do the same thing that I at least think Timothée was doing when he said that, which is we confuse like commerce with creativity. You know, we look at this exchange of artists giving us their work and us returning it with our attention, and we look at it in a way that I don't think is helpful to art at all. Just ask an artist. And what happens is, if you're not making a ton of money, you must not be good at art, is the idea. And if you make a bunch of money, you must be the best at art, which everyone knows is not true. And so I think that when you talk about this thing is dying or nobody cares about it anymore, it's like, I think you're only speaking on money. And so if something doesn't yield a lot of money, in the back of our minds, it's not great art. Because if it was great art, more people would engage with it, give more of their dollars to it. It would just be more substantial, you know? But that's not why you do art. I know maybe for some people it is, but it shouldn't be. That's not what makes art. Imagine if your kid came to you and said, when I grow up, I want to make money. I'm talking stacks. I'm a paint. Oh, sweetie. I have terrible news for you about the art world. And don't get me wrong, that's not to say that artists don't make money and that people don't care about art that doesn't end up making money. We have to do like an uncoupling of art and money, of art and popularity. Real art, the things that move you, they move you. And sometimes they happen to move other people. But whether they do or not, that shouldn't determine whether we count them as art. You see a painting and you're moved, that's art to you. You hear a song and you're moved, that's art to you. It shouldn't matter how many streams it has. It shouldn't matter if the person that made it is on the charts. The song moved you. Art is so subjective, not just in its value, but also in like its meaning to the individual, that you will hear a song that moves you more than anything has ever moved you in your life. And you might even be blessed enough to one day meet the person who wrote that song and get to tell them what that song meant to you and how you could hear the pain that they had in the relationship that they were longing for in the song, and you came across that song in a time in your life when you were also hurting deeply. Maybe you lost someone, maybe it was a loved one, or maybe you lost love. Maybe someone broke up with you, and you just could not put it into words, even in the quiet of your own mind. You couldn't find the words, and then you heard that song, and it was everything that you had ever wanted to say to yourself about what you were going through, and you get to tell them that. And then maybe they say, oh, wow, I'm so glad it moved you. That song was about heroin. Because that's part of art. Part of art is making it and then letting it go, letting it be whatever it is to other people, you know? You spend a lot of time, especially when you begin as an artist, making bad art. Now, this bad art, maybe it's bad because it's not well communicated. Maybe it's bad, some would say, because it's not making any money and no one knows who you are yet. Or maybe it's just bad in your own opinion based on the skills that you build off the skills you didn't have when you first did the art, right? So it takes a long time. And then to have your art recognized it's a tremendously powerful thing. To get an award for your art means so much, because as artists, no matter what you do, I don't know if you act, if you write, whether it's poetry, novels, whatever you do, whatever artistic thing it is that you do, you are on your own in this endeavor. Even when you're with a group, your contribution comes from you. You are on your own as you do it. And because you're on your own, you're just sometimes what feels like floating in a void. Is this good? Is this worth it? Should I share it? All these things that eat away at your artistic endeavor. An award sometimes is the validation that you need to keep going, and it shouldn't be, but sometimes it is. It's nice when someone or a group of people or everybody is like, wow, that's art. You killed it. And maybe that's why Timothée Chalamet wants an Oscar so bad. Because he's clearly killing it. He's been in a lot of blockbusters. He's known as a great actor. But this thing, the pinnacle, he hasn't reached it yet. And so he's been on a marketing campaign for a movie that he did. It feels like the campaign has been going on longer than the movie was out. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like I've seen more interviews for it than longer than it was, but you get it. And I'll even say this, I don't know if this is gonna come off however it comes off, but I personally view Timothée Chalamet as someone who promotes his movie like his character from the movie. Do you know what I mean? So when he was like sweet and sensitive and quiet, that's how he promoted the movie. You see in interviews where he was like, I'm just happy to be working with it. I just, it's like the artist. It's like, what did you say? No, we should really just it doesn't matter what I said. You know what I mean? Like, we should really just listen to more women speak. That's like what. And now for Marty Supreme, you can guess what the character's like, because Timmy's out here, hard, promoting. This the movie. Have you seen the movie? Then what you doing with your life? Get together, March, Spring, Christmas Day. And I think some of the annoyance is it's because we don't have a sort of like monoculture anymore that just feeds us the thing to be watching and to be talking about. Once the internet sort of democratized attention, we got to this place where, okay, I could do anything all day. I could watch 2 hours of cat videos. I could watch like 2 hours of cat videos and nobody can stop me. You're not the boss of me. And I'm not crazy for watching 2 hours of cat videos because you provided them to me, internet. Like you're acting like I have some sort of choice. There's a cat video, I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it. And so you're able now to go from what was cable, which is just, this is what's gonna be on, and you can watch this at 8 o'clock, or you can change the channel and watch something else at 8 o'clock. But all the TV and all the attention is already sort of spoken for in a way. And then the internet made it so that you could be doing anything. You could just be playing chess for 3 hours online, losing. Losing badly. Losing in a way that makes you question if you understand the concepts of space. Losing so fundamentally that it makes you wonder if you're colorblind to what black and white are. Losing horrifically. Losing so bad that you scream into a screen that can't hear you, it can't hear you, and neither can your opponent. You just lost in a room by yourself playing chess. And one day maybe you won't lose, but that day isn't today. You've been losing for 3 hours straight. You've been putting all of your time and attention into doing these en passant and trying to get somebody to fall for the scholar's mate and everything, and now you're just sitting here in checkmate. You don't even have the strength in your hand to refresh the page because you don't know if you can lose again. If you lose again, you might snap. This might be, who would have thought, with everything going on in the world, who would have thought losing a chess for 3 hours was the thing that would break you? And so you could do that. You could do that. You could watch cat videos. You could do whatever. So then when you see something over and over again, like Timothée Chalamet promoting Marty Supreme, it feels a bit forced. Because you're not used to seeing things you don't feel like seeing anymore. I mean, outside of the news. I feel like Tim was out here promoting hard, believing in this movie, campaigning for that Best Actor Oscar award. But this is a tough year to try to get it. Because you also have sinners. Wow. Okay, look, if you haven't seen Sinners, what are you doing with your life? Look, if you haven't seen Sinners, just Sinners winning, sweeping at the Oscars for the story would be amazing. Because Ryan Coogler, this man got a groundbreaking deal for this movie. This man got a groundbreaking deal for this movie in a time where we're not even really making new things often. We are leaning on nostalgia hard. Everybody's trying to make it a bygone era all over again. Do it all the time. Come on, y'all, Rush Hour 4. It needs to happen. You, as a creative, right, up against the industry. No matter who you are and no matter what you do, you can probably appreciate what this story means for people. You, as a creative, are up against your industry to create something new. You want to make something new because everyone's kind of sick of the stuff we've seen before. We can't stay nostalgic for the 90s forever. I love 90s nostalgia just as much as anybody else. It's when my knees were the best. Like, I love 90s nostalgia. I'm trying to do 90s nostalgia all the time. Like, hey, do y'all remember when? I remember I did that push-up real fast. That was good stuff, man. 90s were all right. All the musicians I liked were still alive and we didn't know enough about them. You know what I mean? 90s, wow, ooh, 90s, even into the 2000s. still pretty good. We didn't appreciate it back then. It was like we had just enough tech to feel like we were headed towards the future, but not enough that it was like rotting our brain. At most, you played like Centipede on your phone too much. But yeah, there's this thing that you sit down as a creative and you sit down opposite your industry, whatever the gatekeepers are, whatever the people with the big money, right? And you pitch to them. And they're used to being pitched to. But you pitch to them something where I still don't know to the moment I'm speaking how this ever happened. You pitch them a deal that if it works, and if everyone watches it work, could be the death of the old guard of your industry. It could be the death of the way that things are done. You know, he negotiated this incredible deal, like a generational wealth type of deal. You dream about these deals, and then you wake up, and then, you know, you realize you're not on your break anymore. You're actually 5 minutes late for your shifts. And you clock back in, and your boss is breathing down your neck, but you're like, one day I'll be able to make just art. One day. These are the type of dreams you dream about when you dream about a deal like this. And it was gonna be him making money off of like $1. None of this like funny business, Hollywood accounting, where you tell me I get points on the thing, but then you also tell me the thing never became profitable while bragging about how profitable it was because you made back channels for yourself to pay yourself to where you're still in debt even though you made all the money. None of that. Also, I'll own it again. Over time, I'll own it again. This thing that is wildly popular, I'll get ownership back. I actually have ownership over my intellectual property. You can have it for a little while, but you're just borrowing it. It's mine. It was a deal that was usually what the industry does to the artist. So it was mind-blowing. And then they make the movie. The movie drops. The movie is very good. The movie's incredible, and we expect nothing less. It's Michael B. Jordan and Ryan Coogler. These are the people that brought us Creed, Black Panther, Fruitville Station. It even got the Black Panther treatment, where if you were in a room and you didn't like Sinners that much, you better not tell anybody. I like Sinners, but I watched some people who didn't like Sinners that much voice that they didn't like Sinners that much, and then watch them get eaten alive verbally. Like, I had to act like I didn't even come with them. I was like, I don't know who he is. And you saw the articles come out when Sinners came out, and the articles were fascinating because the articles were hating hard. These articles, people act like they didn't write them now that like everybody loves the movie. But woof, Sinners came out and they were like, all right, it made $50 million, but it cost way more than that to make, so like, we'll see. You're like, oh, I've never seen an article like that. It's like, okay, Sinners made like $90 million, but 90 isn't 92. It finally got to the point where articles were coming out that were like, look, Sinners made a lot of money, but it didn't make it all at once. It didn't make it like on the first day, though. It felt like these articles were written in the voice of like, if you like someone and then they curbed you and you got to write an article about their current boyfriend. You know what I mean? It's just hater energy from the start. Just literally sitting there like, he a surgeon, but how many lives has he saved really? You know what I mean? Like, he went to school and all, that's nice. Sound like a lot of student loan debt if you ask me. But yeah, I mean, like, is he a good surgeon? I don't know. Let's ask one of his patients that's no longer with us. Oh, wait, we can't. You know what I mean? And so you have all that, and that's what you're up against in this field of people fighting for that same award. A lot of people want Michael B. Jordan to win. You know? Yeah, they're here. I'm one of them. I guess, okay, I'll tell you a quick story. When I was in junior high, all the different junior high and high schools where I grew up would have their talent shows around the same time, right? And so people would go and support their friends and everything. And there was a kid that went to this one school, and he was in a wheelchair, right? And he was the first student that somehow had been in a wheelchair, so they had to update all these things to code to accommodate them. And that can get a lot of eyes on you, especially as a kid. Literally being the only one who is different can get a lot of eyes on you in a terrible way. But this kid, very confident. Very, very confident. Confidence from a place that, I don't know. It's one of those people where it almost feels like they were born with it. You know, because yes, he's wheeling down the halls and he's got his friends. He makes his friends because he's got a great personality and everything. And then the talent show comes around and no one knew he had been working on this. Nobody knew what he had planned to do. They just knew he had entered in the talent show and he wouldn't tell anybody. They're like, what are you going to do? He's like, you'll see. That day comes for a talent show. This kid wheels up to the stage, grabs 2 crutches. You have to forgive me because I don't know what they're called when they go around your wrist, but he had the 2 crutches, stands up, and then does a dance routine medley to Walk It Out and 2-step. People are losing their minds. He got out of a wheelchair and was 2-stepping. People were losing it, crushed it. Walks back over to his wheelchair, sits back down, even wheels out cool, just goes backwards off the ramp. I can't imagine having to follow him. Apparently the kid that went after him did tap dance, and it was not as well received. I'm not gonna lie, if I had planned to tap dance that night and the kid before me got out of a wheelchair and danced to 2-step, I would walk out in tap shoes like, I'm gonna do some beatboxing for y'all real quick. But the night goes on, but everybody's talking about it. Literally, people are performing and there are people whispering like, do you believe that's crazy? And then this young lady goes up and she sings, right? And she's got a great voice, sings very well, sings beautifully, and then gets off stage. And because it's a talent show with judges, they judge the performances, they announce the winners, and they gave it to the girl that sang. And everyone, okay. Apparently, even when they announced her name, she was like, yo. The audience didn't see it, but backstage they announced her name, and she was telling us, like, hey, no. So I think about that, because, like, what if Timothée Chalamet wins? You know? And it's important to remember, not just for him, but for all of us. Even with the success of something like Sinners, it's like art can't be audited. Like you can't penny pinch passion. The things that make people dedicate their lives to art forms, there's no price that you can put on it. And what about artwork that you can't make money from? There are artists who do beautiful drawings in the sand and let the tide take it away. Is that not art because they didn't charge you to watch them at the beach? You know, us expanding our understanding of what art is and what artists go through is like, yeah, it's just paramount to a better world, you know? And you know, in Sinners, they have that song, I Lied to You. Incredible song. Incredibly visually, everything that's happening in the movie. And apparently they're gonna have I Lied to You performed at the Oscars. And Misty Copeland, the first African-American principal ballerina, is gonna be dancing. And Timothée Chalamet is gonna be sitting there like, yo, it was 12 seconds, my bad. Like, but he's not the only person having a rough week. Kristi Noem got fired. Kristi Noem, It's just such a funny firing to me. It's like, you did all that and got fired. It's crazy. You know what I mean? Like, imagine basically being a Nazi and still getting fired. That's like somebody snitching and still going to jail. It's just like, what was it for? I don't know, man. What's Kristi gonna do? Can't work at Homeland Security? Can't work at an animal shelter? Like, her job prospects are dwindling in real time. Man. Yeah, Kristi Noem is just, it's ridiculous. It's so bad. I'll tell you right now why I think Kristi Noem got fired before Pam Bondi. Because at least with Pam Bondi, there are people who see what's happening. They see like the release / not release, or the covering up / exposing, or the attack on, or like distraction from the Epstein files as like her. Like a lot of this they see as her fault, right? They don't see it as Trump. So when the files get released, but then they're redacted in these weird places that seem like important information that can't be about national security, it looks like it was Pam Bondi. When the law is literally broken because they're supposed to be released by a certain date and they're held even longer so they could be redacted more, it looks like it's Pam Bondi instead of Trump. But with Kristi Noem, she never really felt in charge. Do you know what I mean? Like when you saw ICE, you weren't like that dang Kristi Noem. You were like, no, this is Trump's thing. Like Pam Bondi runs a sort of cover for Trump that Kristi could never. You know? Because then there were people who were like, Pam Bondi's gonna be like this whip-smart lawyer. She understands the law. Some people were even saying she's gonna rein Trump in a little bit, right? But I don't care who you are. Even MAGA, when Kristi Noem got hired, they were like, oh. All right, I guess do what you want. I mean, we know she a killer, so I guess that's something, I suppose. Oh, Kristi Noem mismanaged so much money, spent hundreds of millions of dollars on ads for ICE. Went to marketing consultants and tried to help her be like the face of ICE, face of Homeland Security and everything. Just mismanaged all these funds. They even asked her if she had an affair on the job with Corey Lewandowski. And she was like, this sort of line of question is absolutely ridiculous. I can't even believe that the Senate would stoop to this sort. And then they were like, you're not saying no. Yeah. Man, what do you do? Kristi Noem out here. The thing that's funniest to me about Kristi Noem, okay, if I'm being honest with you, one thing that does make me laugh is if you wrote a book about Kristi Noem, right? Not the one that she did. Like if you wrote a whole book about Kristi Noem and everything that she did and you just put it out there, and let's say her name wasn't on it, and somebody read that book, they'd be like, this right here feels racist to white women. Like this. Some of this doesn't even seem true. White women love puppies. They never murder one. No. And then Kristi Noem's been replaced with Mark Wayne Mullen. Mark Wayne, if you can't tell by the name, Mark Wayne Mullen is about as equipped as Kristi Noem. I love the name Mark Wayne Mullen because Mark Wayne, it sounds like you have to yell that name and tell that person not to do something that no one's ever done before. Do you know what I mean? Mark Wayne. Mark Wayne, stop drinking that paint. Mark Wayne. Mark Wayne, quit it. Mark Wayne, stop smudging the glass with your penis. Mark Wayne. Mark Wayne, cut it out. Mark Wayne, stop eating light bulbs, Mark Wayne. Mark Wayne just doesn't, all right, but just doesn't feel like a serious name to me. Just go by Mark, buddy. Because Mark Mullins sounds like out of a movie. You know what I mean? Mark Mullen, okay. Who is this person? Are they competent? Mark Wayne. You hear it, right? You hear it. This isn't just because I grew up in Louisiana. This is like, I'm telling you right now, there's Mark and then Mark Wayne. Like, Mark Wayne sounds like he skipped school to go to the rodeo. Like, it's... And he's an interesting guy because he's been tapped. He's not really better than Kristi Noem in any regard. And he tried to have a fight in Congress with a guy who was testifying. A lot of people forgot about this video. He challenged this dude to a fight in real time. They like were getting into it, exchanging words. He's like, well, we can handle it right now. Bernie Sanders had to be like, you sit down. You're a senator, sit down. Imagine, you Mark Wayne Mullen, and Bernie Sanders break you off of somebody. Yeah. Even Trump not having a good last couple months at all. This is very bad. It's very, like, no one seems to want to admit how bad it is. This is very bad. This is genuinely, like I hope you can understand objectively. This is serious and it's horrible. Look at his neck. That's crazy. I don't know what happened. I saw that, I was like, oh! I'm trying to have my snacks. You can't just sneak up on me with that picture. That's not fair at all. If you haven't seen Trump's neck, it looked like somebody ran it right over. This is crazy. This man, first his hands. Looked like he got like Smurf knuckles on his hands. And then just certain parts of his neck looked sunburnt, but like deeper than that. It's very weird. You saw it over the collar. He's also been getting more screenings than like other presidents. You know, he's like getting a lot of screenings just to say he's healthy. Whenever I go to the doctor and he says that I'm healthy, I don't see that dude again for a while. That's not a good sign either, to have a doctor check in every 2 months, be like, oh, healthy? Yep. Oh, healthy. Not at all. This man, wow. He bad off. He looked like the flag. He genuinely red, white, and blue. Like this dude is melting or something. I'm scared he got something new. You know what I mean? Like this. I've never seen. I understand, like, age could do stuff to you. I get that, but like, he is like an older man now. He's undeniably old. And remember when old was like a big deal? Remember when old was like disqualifying from being president? Not that long ago. I don't care who you are. We all owe Biden an apology. Because he was like old but quiet. Do you know what I mean? He was old in a way that was like, he told the story too low. You didn't know what he was saying, and when he was telling the story, it was like each part of the story was from a different decade. Like, he'd start the story, he'd be like, I got this Sacagawea coin from Jimi Hendrix, and then Madonna showed up and performed like a virgin, and Fat Joe was there too. And he did Lean Back. It was all on the Amtrak train that they just finished in Delaware. It's like... That was a timeline. Nope. No, it was crazy. It was very bad. But now we have an old guy who is very clearly old. Obviously old. But he's mean, which makes him feel younger. I don't know if you ever visited anybody in a nursing home, but if they're not having a good day, they seem right with it. They're like just mean enough to feel like they got all their faculties. You know what I mean? Biden was old in that way that was like, well, uh-oh. Is he gonna make it? No. I can't believe Trump being this old, this unhealthy, is still like sidestepping these massive issues, you know? Like Biden couldn't do it because you would try to press Biden about something and he would be like, look. I was there. And now we're here. Like, Biden would say something that you couldn't tell if it was, like, incoherent or wisdom. Trump is over here. You'll press Trump about are we at war? Are we at war? Are we doing a war? And Trump will be, instead of just answering the question, are we at war? You start a war without the approval of Congress. You start a war. And Trump will be like, well, you're ugly. Like, you are ugly, though. You're ugly, though. Are we not going to address that you're ugly, though? Like, we just going to all sit here like you're not being ugly right now? That's the real issue. You're at war with looks. You are. And before you know it, even we fall for the trick. We're like, I can't believe he called that reporter ugly. That was so rude. They were just doing their job. And it's like, yeah, you didn't make him answer the question. But he's very old. We gotta have to accept the fact that our president is not equipped, very old. He has diapers. Don't try to deny it. We are not gonna sit here right now and act like when Trump is walking around in that suit, that's just padunk behind him. There's no way. Trump a thick boy, he's not that thick. That's a diaper. That's 100% a diaper. We can take bets if you want. That's a diaper. Somebody changes the president every day. Yeah, you should be upset about that. Remember when we were like, he can't be president? That guy's forgetful. It's like, all right, okay. Yeah. Unacceptable. Truly, it's insane. Got us in a... Speaking of nostalgia, right? Like, talking about how Hollywood tries to repeat everything. Don't you remember a simpler time? A simpler time in politics. Remember Bush? Remember George Bush? You know W. In case you're confused about which Bush, I'm talking about the smiley one. You remember Bush? Remember that dude got us in a war, then choked on a pretzel. A lot of people forgot or didn't know this man choked on a pretzel soon after the war in Afghanistan started, and they had to Heimlich him. He was he about to go as president, choked on a pretzel. Secret Service had to save him from his tiny throat. What an innocent time. And he just keeps like bringing people in who are out of their minds. You know? And Dr. Oz is over here. I don't know if Dr. Oz or RFK Jr. or what. Like RFK Jr., I understand that there's a process where the Senate confirms these cabinet positions and everything. And I understand that there are some things in personal bias that you would not want to allow to be disqualifying so that way you could be like impartial to how this person presents in front of you, right? But RFK Jr. was barefoot on a plain bathroom floor. That was it for me. I was like, I don't care what you do or what you eat or what ferments you eat, and like, you know what I mean? You could be as crunchy as you want, but if you put your bare foot on plain bathroom floor, late in the flight too, late in the flight. Late flight is very different than early. It still shouldn't happen at all, but late flight, every step is nasty. You over here in charge of health. That is infuriating. I won't stop talking about it. It's like, no matter what happens, whether it's like the war in Iran, every day, there's so many things coming at you all the time for no reason at all, out of nowhere. The other day, Trump was like, Cuba's next. And I'm like, somebody give him like a Valium or something. Like, this, slow him down. This is crazy. But no matter what happens, I won't stop talking about RFK Jr. being the head of Health and Human Services. Yeah, the Epstein files, but like the head of Health and Human Service, you barefoot on a plane. Let me tell you the circumstances that it would take for me to be barefoot on a bathroom plane floor. We're on the plane. We're on the plane. That's the first step. You have to be. We're on the plane. For whatever reason, it's going down, and it's going down hard. Like, this is it, Like, if you love anybody, call them. Take it off airplane mode. Make something happen, because this is it, right? Black box might not even survive. Going all the way down. And then at the last second, they're able to pull the plane up a little bit. But what a lot of people don't know is that depending on how hard you pull and how fast how quickly it happens, you could snap the wings, So let's say that happens, the wings snap. Now we're just a bullet. We're just a bullet going down from the air. Nobody tries to catch that bullet. Nobody's trying to help. Everybody trying to get out of the way. So now we're falling even faster because not even falling with wings. You can hear us in the clouds shooting past other clouds. We're flying past birds. Birds were like, what was that? I don't know. I think a gun? I have no idea. And then by some miracle, right? By some miracle, just in time, we hit another plane, right? I know this sounds bad at first. Hear me out. Listen to me. We hit a plane just enough to get knocked off course from going straight down, right? So now we're doing one of these things where we're kind of sliding down in the air, but some of the fuselage is broken off. So then we lost a few people. They flew right out. They got sucked out immediately, okay? Now I'm still in my seat because I wear my seatbelt like the flight attendant says to. So I've been over here bouncing, all right? Because that is what would happen. People act like if you fasten in tight, your midsection will stay in the seat. You going up, down too, right? I'm gripping the seat in front of me, finally trying to read that pamphlet they give you. try to read the pamphlet sometimes because I fly a lot, so you would think I know, and they still tell you to read it even if you fly a lot because maybe they updated it and have a plan for like if you're actually going down. Because the thing they tell you to do is just like, all right, don't pay attention to that, you're gonna die. Like that, like in the pamphlet, they're like, yeah, go ahead and tuck your head, and he's like, is that so your neck breaks faster? I have no idea why that's a good idea. That doesn't make any sense to me at all. Has that ever saved anybody where they're like, oh, thank goodness I put my knees in my chest as the plane fell out of the sky. Whew. There's not that many pages, but you turn the other page. Wow, it says everything but pray. It doesn't say pray on here at all, but all right. And then we hit the ground, we snap off into another piece, right? And so now we're still flying through this field. Let's say we found like a nice grassy patch, like some prairie, sliding through, and pieces of the plane are flying off. You know, there's other seats flying past my head. Whoa, whoa, whoa. You know. And then we're spinning and everything, and it's not advised. I shouldn't do it. I'm surprised I'm still alive, but I take off my seatbelt because I have a bad feeling about my seat. I think it's about to snap off too. And what do you know? I'm right. Just like in a James Bond film, as soon as I stand up, that seat fly out of the plane. And now I'm running, right? Running towards the cockpit. I'm running towards the cockpit, pieces of the plane flying back out of the plane and everything. And just as I'm almost at the cockpit, because it just seems safer to get to where the stuff won't fly and hit me. Just as I get there, I see a piece of metal. Maybe it's the jump seat of one of the flight attendants or something. I jump up, real action movie style. I jump up, and the metal on that jump seat cuts the bottom out of both of my shoes. I'm still running towards the cockpit, right? And then the door is locked, because of course it is. Of course the door to the cockpit is locked. Why did I think I could just get in there like that? But the thing that's right next to the cockpit door is the bathroom. Things can't fly at me if I'm in a safe room. So then I walk in the bathroom and I shut the door. I do the pull, the lights come on. They still work somehow. And then I wait for somebody to come get me, because I'm terrified. First responders get there. They're like, hello, hello. Is anybody alive? Nobody. Is anybody alive? They call out to me and I'm like, hey, I'm in here. And now I do run the risk of them walking up to the bathroom door, opening it and wondering if I was in there for the entire plane crash. But I don't care about any of that. I open the door, I'm like, oh, thank goodness you're here. Maybe even I hug one of them, Firefighter's big and strong. Jump in his arms. And he's like, you're safe. You're safe. You're on solid ground. I can't believe you survived. I can't either. And then he looks down at my feet and he sees that I was in the airplane bathroom with my feet touching the bathroom floor. And then he justly kills me. Cause I don't know how I'm gonna age. I'd like to think I'll be like a good old man. Like I'll be good at it. Like I'll have a bunch of stories. I go to tell a story because I've always loved telling stories ever since I was little. Right now, hopefully in the future, I'll have even more stories. And I'm older, so I don't project as much. You gotta lean in a little bit. They get close to me. And I'm like, this Sacagawea coin